don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.
Every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the show. Josh here, Oreo Express. I hope you're all having a fabulous day today. It is Thursday, May 15th, and we got a lot in store for you today. And thank you to everybody that joined it this morning. We're playing the audio of the Supreme Court case, both having to do with the 14th Amendment and anchor babies, as well as some of these rogue judges that are making these rulings, taking away the executive powers. We'll get into some of that here in a little while. If I could ask you, please, make sure you share this out and also hit that like button. When you hit that like button, it gets out to more people. We can bring more people into the community and wake them up to what's going on in the world. And once again, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Who do we got here today? We got Hunter, Karen Sunflower, Susan K. Spencer, Rob Wallace. Let's see, Robert Benji's in the house, B. Mikey, Jan Garner. Check that out. How you doing, Jan? And we got Chris B jumping in there saying hello, Josh and everyone. So again, I hope you guys are having a good day and ready for some excitement. Ready for some excitement today. I seen a video and I got to show it to you. Today marks 1 year since Biden agreed to do the debate with Trump. And man, we all know how that went. We were live streaming that event. Me and Penny Loafer Matt were live streaming that event, and it didn't go too well for Biden. But we're going to talk about that and much other things that are going on in the world, including you need to start paying reparations, guys. You don't start paying that reparations, you're a racist. You're a racist. So let's jump on in here.
In 2020, Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
And that was in reference into the political persecution where Donald Trump was doing a lot of court cases while still winning an election. Isn't that great? I just sometimes I need to watch stuff like that, and I hadn't seen that for a while. I thought you guys would appreciate it too. And I hear you're free every day, Joe. I hear you're free every day. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for the Democrat Party. I really do. I mean, because in a country you should have two decent parties. And right now you have one that's semi-decent, and you have another one that's just absolutely anti-American and everything else. Speaking of Democrats, check this out. Rep. Nancy Mace tweeted this out. It says, Samuel Theodore Kane is the first trans activist in the country to be arrested for death threats against us. Thank you, Capitol Police. Roxy was dead ass arrested. And the reason why she used that term is we'll show you that in a minute. It says, we'll let the photo stand for itself because this individual is obviously unwell in more ways than one. Hopefully they have makeup wipes in prison. And this was that person's tweet or message. It says, I'm going to assassinate Representative Nancy Mace with a gun, and I'm being 100% dead ass. Man, I bet you. Oh my gosh. I don't know how that person is feeling in court right now, but good job, Capitol Police. It's about time we punish some of these people and hold them accountable for what they're doing. You guys know I despise many Democrats. I've never threatened them, said I was going to assassinate them. I mean, what point would you get out of that? Check this out. We've covered this a couple times this week, and we have males across the country competing in female sports, dominating them, taking away trophies, taking away the ability of these hardworking young women, these girls, to be able to participate in a sport they love with fairness and true equality. And listen to this. This is from Colin Rugg. He says, new high school transgender track athlete says he's going to win at the California State Championships to make a point to the haters. I wonder when the championships are. Maybe we should go. What do you think? It says all this does is prove the haters. Here we go. Listen to this. We actually
so far, how are you feeling?
Is that even registering as you're competing?
Honestly, no. I'm still a child. And for you to act like a child shows how you are as a person. And nothing I can do about people's actions, just focus on my own.
On Saturday, other competitors beat Hernandez in 2 of her 3 events. She won first place in triple jump. She is not currently ranked nationally, and she has been outperformed by over 2 meters in her jumps by girls competing in states that have banned gender-affirming care.
All I thought was, I don't think you understand that this puts your idiotic claims to trash. Now you have no proof that I can't be beat.
Oh my God.
Hernandez of Rupa Valley High School. Amazing 3 wins today. What was the SMR?
SMR, long, triple, and then have high later.
And you still got the high jump. Amazing performances so far. How are you feeling just about how the day went today at the Ontario Relays?
Very excited. I don't know. I did not, after long, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not going to do as good as triple, but I'm glad that I performed pretty well, and I'm just excited.
Just excited. Let me look this California State Championships. I want to see when they are. They're probably this weekend. And I think we got plans this weekend. See where they are. That would be track and field. Yeah, May 30th. Oh, no, that's April 24th. I was going to say, wow, it's a mile away from my house. It said Veterans Memorial Stadium, which is at the high school I graduated from, but that was for the last one. What's the date today? Friday, May 24th, Saturday, May 25th. Guess what, guys? It might be at my town. It says Friday, May 24th and Saturday, May 25th, Buchanan High School. 104th CIF State Track and Field Championship. There's no travel involved. I think we should go. We'll have to look into that. I'll have to talk, figure out what's going on there. But again, it's just unfair. You know, Democrats have cried forever. This needs to be fair. This needs to be fair. Their fair share and all this. And then they go and support, you know, males, biological males in female sports. It's just outrageous what we're seeing. And just in case you guys wanted to know what your Democrat folks are doing,
discrimination against Black people. We are in a moment of anti-Blackness on steroids, and we refuse to be silent. We will not back down in our pursuit of racial justice. The antidote to anti-Blackness is to be pro-Black, and we will do it unapologetically. The United States government owes us a debt, and we need reparations now.
Reparations now, folks. So get out those checkbooks. Listen, I'm accepting reparations for them. If you want to go, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. It goes much better with me. We also have the gift thing go down there at the bottom because you'll be helping support our travel. We are going to DC in less than about 3 weeks. We are heading to, I think 3 weeks from today, we will be on a plane heading to DC for the 250th anniversary birthday of the military, for the parade that's going on there. So we could use your support. I want to thank everybody who has donated and continued to help us. We are far away from our goal. It's gonna, again, we got the plane ticket. Now we need hotel, rental car, and food. So I want to say thank you to all those that do it, but maybe save a little bit for reparations. I mean, you don't want to be a racist. You don't want to be a white supremacist. We're going to talk about white supremacists here in a minute. Because, you know, I think white supremacy is to blame for everything. How about the CBS News post here? You guys going to love this. More than 1,000 Starbucks baristas at 75 U.S. stores have gone on strike since Sunday, protesting the coffee giant's new dress code. This is the main reason people stopped going to Starbucks. Starbucks went to their little wokeness, what was it, 2020 or the end of 2019? And the people they hire there are just absolutely incredibly, most of them are, and I hate to say it, incredibly stupid. They also don't want to follow rules. We played that other video, what was at the beginning of last week. Now, again, there's a new CEO, CFO, I can't remember what it is, at Starbucks, CEO, I think, Chief Executive Officer. And they said, we're going to go back to being a coffee house. We're going to get you your coffee quicker. We're going to take some things off the menu. We haven't been doing too well. We want to give you that coffee house feel. In some of that, they also said, guess what? You can't just loiter in our stores like we've allowed. If you want to come in and be a paying customer, you can use our facilities. You could use you can hang out for hours and enjoy, be on your laptop, do whatever. But if you're just coming in to sit there and take up space, we're not going to do that anymore. Another thing they did is they want a more uniform look. You go to In-N-Out Burger, every In-N-Out Burger looks the same. You go to Taco Bell, every Taco Bell looks the same. When you run a business, especially one with many locations, that's what you want. You want to get what you would consider your branding, your store, the way you want it set up, your products, and you multiply that. You duplicate that across the states, across the country. And when people go to get coffee, they're not looking for your rainbow bandana that you're wearing and your Palestinian flag. It actually makes me walk out of the store. Again, there's been a lot of things going on, but you just got to see the people. Check this out. Starbucks workers are striking because they don't want a dress code. Look at this.
the color of my underwear. You wanna know what? You wanna guess the color of my
clothes that were banned from Starbucks.
On down there, is it pretty in pink or all see-through? Is it showing off my brand new black tattoo?
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to get my coffee from that. I'm just being honest with you. I could sugarcoat everything and act like I would. But baristas walk off the job to resist due dress code. You know what I would say? I would say, Donald, you're fired. That's what I would say. I'd send it out in a tweet, an epic like rant Donald Trump tweet. And this is the problem with these entitled little children. And that's what they are. They don't, even when they're 25, 26, they have a mentality of a 7-year-old crying on the grocery store floor because they didn't get their Hot Wheels that mama said they would get. And again, I can't tell you, I've been in Starbucks across this country. There's times where when we're all maggot out, we have to go into a Starbucks for breakfast because we can't go sit down somewhere and order something, but I can order on my mobile app and have my food ready so they don't know it's mine and then walk in and grab it. But we've been through a lot. I mean, in DC, they all had the trans flags. They all had Black Lives Matter. I mean, it was more of a an arm of the Democrat Party than it was a coffee house. Take a look at this. This is, they're on strike, folks.
I believe that. I believe that we will. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will. I believe that we will. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
They always kind of look the same. You have to ask yourself. I know a lot of it's demonic, but I don't know. I think some of this, I think RFK Jr. can solve this problem. I do. That's got to be chemicals or something, folks. You just don't appear like that normally. The people didn't look like that 60 years ago. And it's just crazy. We got Mikey Ray in the house with a Rumble rant. It says no coffee at Starbucks. Yeah, you know what? We in Clovis, we go to Cup of Joy here. That's my spot. But again, when we travel sometimes and we're all maggot out and we can't order anywhere, same thing with Chipotle. I'm not a big fan of Chipotle, but because they make the food right in front of me, and it's not made in the back where they can go back there and say, this dude's all maggot out, spit in his food, give him the special sauce. I go to Chipotle. Not a fan. I absolutely hate this, and my kids despise me for it. What's that other one? Panda Express. They'll make the food right in front of you too, and I hate it. That is not Chinese food. But every once in a while we're forced to go there if there's one in the area because again I can watch them make my food. Actually, me and Jason, you guys remember Jason? We got kicked out of Panda Express in Fresno because we wouldn't wear a mask, and Jason's like, oh, me? I'm not sick. Oh, man. Listen to Sebastian Gorka right here. Absolutely roast. Demolishes Politico. And I just think it's great. Listen.
Just happen to comport with a member of Al-Qaeda. If you're a member of Al-Qaeda, you're a terrorist.
How do you know if that they're members of these gangs? What I'm saying
is... You mean
is,
the tattoos MS-13 on their knuckles doesn't, right? That doesn't help it.
Those.
Do you have tattoos of Al-Qaeda?
The tattoo did not say MS-13. I don't want to get into that.
Oh, of course it does. It's just accidents. The four symbols represent the letters MS. See, this is why Politico is a joke. This is why you are gutter press and fake news. That those four symbols that just happen to comport with the letters MS and the numbers 13 don't, in this case, represent MS-13. You're sitting here live defending a member of MS-13. That's why I regret coming here, because this isn't journalism. This is protecting those who hate America. Shame on you. We are saving lives. Sir. Saving life. How about Maryland fathers compared to Maryland mothers? Like Rachel Marin, mother of 5, raped and murdered and thrown in a ditch. How about Jocelyn Nungare, age 12, raped a mile from her home and thrown in a ditch? It's strange that Politico doesn't do articles about her, that mother, or that 12-year-old girl. Why is that? Why is the MS-13 guy with the knuckle tattoos more important in terms of due process than the lives of 12-year-old girls brutally raped? It's weird that the priorities shift to defending the member of an FTO, but not the children and the women. Dan Crenshaw told me a story once of a 16-year-old girl who was smuggled across this border. The parents paid $5,000 for her to live in America, the land of milk and honey. She ended up locked in a room in New York, raped by more than a dozen men every day for 18 months until she escaped. She went to Dan Crenshaw's office, and I'm no friend of Dan Crenshaw's, okay? He's still got TDS. And that girl said to him, please close the border so another girl doesn't have to be raped by 12 strange men every day for 18 months. It's strange that Politico doesn't cover those stories. Could you tell me why?
We have covered.
No, you haven't. You have not covered those stories. I'd like to see the Jocelyn Nungare, Rachel Marin stories in comparison to the Russia collusion garbage. I mean, let's be honest here.
Let's move on.
You have an agenda.
Let's move on here. Absolutely, they have an agenda. And again, I don't know if we could have predicted this. I think we've seen it coming, that once Trump got in office, that the same Democrats that were advocating for open borders, that were doing all this, would be defending literally foreign terrorist organizations. And that's what we're seeing right now. They are defending foreign terrorists. They have their arm of the Democrat Party, which is the failed legacy media. And folks, I'm telling you right now, it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad for these folks. I just don't think it's working. And check this out. I happened to see this. Hansen bust BLM activists. You know, Chris Hansen, Dateline, NBC. I don't know if he's still on Dateline, but this one says new. Chris Hansen catches Black Lives Matter activist and rioter Aston Mack in child sexting. Who could have guessed it? Aston thought he defunded all the police. Listen to this.
Please, dude, I said no. Literally have the sex trafficking line. Get up. I'm not talking. Get up. I'm not trying to anyone. Please. I literally said no. Can you grab my shoe? Move.
So this BLMer is denying anything.
35-year-old Aston Mack, BLM activist, worked with challenged children in Orlando, claimed to me that he had the sex trafficking hotline number on his phone, in his pocket, was just going to help this girl out. But the texts tell a very different story.
Man. Woo, we're seeing it every day. These trans activists, these BLM activists. Let me see. I'm going to pull something else up here, see if we can see some of his old stuff. I didn't do that for the show, but I'll do it right now. See what pulls up other than that video. Aston Mack. Oh, that's funny. One of the people on our site said Aston Mack was harassing me at a protest 2 weeks ago, then gets arrested by Chris Hansen in a sting yesterday. Can't make this up. Oh. Is this it?
I wore my Arsenal jersey.
Justice, no peace.
I was actually driving downtown and it looked like a huge thing. I'm like, this is a protest. This is it. It's happening right now in front of me. But I was scared. So what I did was I wore my Arsenal jersey. I was trying to get the cops to disarm themselves. And at some point, somewhere, somebody took a picture of me. Within not even a day, just a barrage. Hey, when's your next action? Where are you going to be? How can we be with you? I wore that jersey because I knew that somebody will see me with the Gooner jersey on, and I know they'll be taking care of me. I don't know where they are, but if I wear this, somebody's got me. That's what class means. My name's Aston Mack. I'm a local activist in the city of Orlando, founder of the Orlando Freedom Fighters, and I'm a proud Orlando Gooner.
Ooh, man. You got something else to add to your resume now that you've been exposed, you pedophile? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Speaking of pedophiles, we've been covering over the last, it's probably been 2.5 weeks, AB 379 here in California. This is the bill that Democrats were saying that they would not add 16 and 17-year-olds to a law that would make it a felony for perverts and pedophiles to purchase minors, 16 and 17-year-olds for sex. They said, no, we'll take it up. Democrats were pushed against it. You even had people like Scott Wiener try to compare that to if you have an 18-year-old high school student and he offers $20 to a classmate to fool around, he could get prison time. Like stupid stuff. And then I think they hurt themselves. I think it was Robert Rivas paid for some promotional Facebook advertisements stating that Republicans didn't want to protect 16 and 17-year-olds and got called out. They canceled the ad campaign. It actually brought more heat on Democrats. Well, I can tell you today it has passed. What a blessing. It says moments ago, we forced California Assembly Democrats to cave into public pressure and finally pass AB 379, making it a felony to purchase 16 and 17-year-old minors for sex. Thank you all to help us achieve this big victory. And I know a lot of people, I know some of you that are in California, you called your state assemblyman, you called the Capitol, you let your voices be heard, you were being activists. And it works sometimes. It works sometimes. We have to do it every time. It's not going to work every time. But this time, we'll take the small win. We'll take the small win. And if you guys weren't with us earlier today, again, this morning, we covered the oral arguments at the Supreme Court. Let me show you what Trump put out here. He said, big case today in the United States Supreme Court. Birthright citizenship was not meant for people taking vacations to become permanent citizens of the United States of America and bringing their families with them all the time, laughing at the suckers that we are. The United States of America is the only country in the world that does this. For what reason, nobody knows. But the drug cartels love it. We are, for the sake of being politically correct, a stupid country. But in actuality, this is the exact opposite of being politically correct. And it is yet another point that leads to the dysfunction of America. Birthright citizenship is about the babies of slaves. As conclusive proof, the Civil War ended in 1865. The bill went to Congress less than a year later and was passed shortly after that. It had nothing to do with illegal immigration for people wanting to scam our country. From all parts of the world, which they have done for many years, it had to do with Civil War results and the babies of slaves who our politicians felt correctly needed protection. Please explain this to the Supreme Court of the United States. Again, remember, the Civil War ended in 1865 and the bill goes to Congress in 1866. We didn't have people pouring into the country from all over South America and the rest of the world. It wasn't even a subject. What we had were the babies of slaves. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Good luck with this very important case. God bless the USA. And we're gonna just do a short little recap on this stuff. It was very obvious from the time it started. Sotomayor was being an activist. She was interrupting. She wouldn't let the council talk. And so much so, I think we even might have a clip in here of one of the, maybe it was Kavanaugh or Gorsuch that said, can you let him answer the question? But listen to outside. This was outside this morning.
¡Lucha! ¡Ey! ¡Tron! ¡Escucha! ¡Estamos en la lucha! No tienen que decir
So people out there, some probably illegals. There was some other stuff too. Listen to this. This was from, who was this? Laura Loomer posted this.
A great inheritable caste system for the first time in over 150 years. Trump's executive order purporting to override the 14th Amendment granted birthright citizenship. This illegal directive would strip hundreds of thousands of Americans of their citizenship, a great inheritable caste system for the first time in over 150 years. Across the country, states and nonprofit organizations filed lawsuits alleging Trump's attempt to rewrite the Constitution. And not one, not two, but 3 federal district courts granted preliminary injunctions that block the order while the case proceeds through the courts. Not just in the cases of the people challenging the executive order, but to everyone. Also, now the administration is saying these courts went too far. The administration says it doesn't matter whether or not Trump's order is unconstitutional. The injunction should only apply to the plaintiffs in such case. They shouldn't apply nationwide. This is a trap. Trump's order is just as unconstitutional in Maryland as it is in Mississippi. It's just as unconstitutional in Washington as it is in West Virginia. It is just as unconstitutional in New Jersey as it is in North Dakota. Limiting
You know, I heard this in the comments, and I'm thinking, more ice, please. More ice. It's crazy, guys. And one thing I want to point out is we used to cover a lot on BAM. It's by any means necessary. They had a lot of hardcore terrorists in their group. They used to go down to Sacramento a lot. We went to Oakland. They were in Oakland, San Francisco, by any means necessary. And they kind of dried up a little bit. I don't know where their activism went, if they went online, if they were doing other things else. But BAM's trying to grow again. That's why they're out there with their signs and with their website on there. You're going to see some interesting stuff from that group. Definitely some violence from BAM. We covered violence in Trump's first administration with BAM, and that's going to continue. And then we had, look at this.
America! In the name of humanity!
In the name of humanity!
We refuse humanity!
In the name of humanity!
We refuse to accept!
We refuse to accept!
A fascist America!
A fascist America!
In the name of humanity!
In the name of humanity!
We refuse to accept!
We refuse to accept!
A fascist America!
A fascist America!
Trump!
Oh, man. I wish these people would learn the term of fascist and then just go back 120, 130 days and understand what we were living under, a dictatorship that politically persecuted folks, put them in the gulag, all because of their political ideology or their beliefs. Here was another one here just to give you guys a sense of what was outside and the people that want anchor babies. Take a look. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Now let's get into some of the comments that were. Oh, we got actually one more. So Charles Downs, the Charles Downs was down there, and it looks like Nancy Pelosi showed up to greet her extremist folks, and he wanted to ask Nancy Pelosi a question, and was physically assaulted and removed as a reporter down there. This is why we need patriots to stand up. This is why we need whatever it is. I'll use the word malicious to trigger some folks out here handling these people when they assault people that are just trying
Why
to
do congressional Democrats continuing to support dangerous open border policies? Excuse me, you can't. Why do congressional Democrats continuing to support dangerous open border policies? Excuse me, you can't touch me. I'm just asking the speaker a question.
Come on, so let's go. See, I'm just going to tell you that guy needs to get his grill kicked in, and I think it's going to get to that point. I think it's going to get, and I'm not going to be sad. You are taking away someone's First Amendment right. I wish, I can't tell you what I wish I would do. But we are going to be in D.C. with your help, guys. We're still looking for a hotel and rental car next month. And there's going to be the same group of communists out there. But this is happening right in front of Nancy Pelosi. Take a look. Let me refresh it here. Right in front of Nancy Pelosi. These are the people that, and of course, Nancy Pelosi's out there because she wants, again, why do Democrats want this?
What?
They, first of all, they want mass amnesty. They want the 20 million people who were literally allowed illegally to enter the country. They need them for congressional seats. They need them for a talking point. Remember, they said you couldn't close the border. Take an act of Congress, and Trump said, closed. But watch this. There's Nancy Pelosi right there. He's asking Nancy Pelosi a question. He's not interfering in her day. He's doing what journalists should do.
The congressional Democrats continuing to support dangerous open border policies. Excuse me, you can't touch me. I'm just asking the speaker a question. Oh, so you're pushing me back on a public sidewalk outside the Supreme Court? Do you have anything else you'd like to say about your hatred of free speech?
I like your content, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I like how I dress too. I'm just asking a question. That's it. I'm allowed to ask a question as a reporter on the sidewalk.
I bet you
can't
he's
block the
illegal.
sidewalk, you know.
He's got his walkie-talkie. He was ordered to take away the civil rights from somebody. Ordered to take away the civil rights from somebody. It's just, it's ridiculous, folks. That's what gets my blood boiling. So, listen to this. Like I said earlier, our Justice Sonia Sotomayor, literally, for the first, what was it, 40 minutes? I don't know how long it was. She was the one wanting to do all the talking. She would ask a question when the U.S. Solicitor General John Sauer would go to respond, she wouldn't even let him. Listen to this. You actually have Chief Justice Robert say, "Can I hear the rest of the answer?" Take a listen to this.
Just the Supreme Court, that both the Supreme Court and no lower court can stop an executive from universally from violating those holdings by this court?
We are not claiming that because we're conceding that there could be an inappropriate case.
Only a
Rule
class,
23.
only
Could
by
I hear
class.
could I hear the rest of his answer?
A Rule 23 class action. And then the more fundamental point as to all those Supreme Court decisions you referred to.
So what do we do temporarily?
Temporarily, the court may issue, the lower courts may issue injunctions that remediate the injuries to the plaintiffs that appear before them. Lower courts in appropriate cases may certify class action.
So when a new president
all she did was filibuster. That's all she did. Listen.
Orders that because there's so much gun violence going on in the country, and he comes in and he says, I have the right to take away the guns from everyone. Then and he sends out the military to seize everyone's guns. We and the courts have to sit back and wait until every named plaintiff or every plaintiff whose gun is taken comes into court.
In appropriate cases, courts have certified class actions on an emergency basis. We found at least 4 cases in recent years where that was done. But more fundamentally, we profoundly disagree with the characterization.
And again, she's trying to take an extreme example is what they want to do, but she was actually rebutted on that.
The merits. This is now
I can't remember if it was
Ninth
Gorsuch, but brought up another case where it was 1 month that it took. 1 month, not years, not 4 years, 1 month. And you know, we were talking about nationwide injunctions, and we were talking about, and what I mean by nationwide injunctions is that you have a president, the chief executive of this country, issuing an executive order, and you have a district judge where they are judge shopping and taking these cases to very liberal areas where they know they're going to get a favorable ruling, and they take that into court, and that one judge gets to do a nationwide injunction for every state. And I want you to listen to this right here. And Justice Katanya Brown. Now, if you don't know Katanya Brown, this is your justice that can't define what a woman is. I'm not going to play that video today, but she was asked to define a woman when it came to her hearing, and she couldn't define a woman. That's how bad some of these activists, even on the Supreme Court, are.
I would think we'd want the system to move as quickly as possible to reach the merits of the issue and maybe have this court decide whether or not the government is entitled to do this under the law. Wouldn't having universal injunctions actually facilitate that? It seems to me that when the government is completely enjoined from doing the thing it wants to do, it moves quickly to appeal that, to get it to the Supreme Court, and that's actually what we would want. What I worry about is similar to what Justice Kagan points out, is that if the government is saying no lower court can completely enjoin it, it actually means that the government just keeps on doing the purportedly unlawful thing, and it delays the ability for this court.
So it kind of went somewhat as I expected. How about this one? Justice Kagan kind of taunted the U.S. Solicitor General. Take a listen.
And if the government wasn't respecting, on the
and then by one?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I understood the hypothetical.
If you win this challenge and say there is no nationwide injunction and it all has to be through individual cases, then I can't see who was not, being treated equivalently to the individual who brought the case would have any ability to bring the substantive question to us.
They would bring a lawsuit in the federal district courts against the government for an injunction protecting them. And if the government wasn't respecting, on the
and then they win. And again, you need somebody to lose, but nobody's going to lose in this case. It's just you're going to have individual by individual by individual, and
all of those individuals are going to win. And the ones who can't afford to go to court, they're the ones who are going to lose.
The tools that are provided to address hypotheticals like this, again,
This is not a hypothetical. This is happening out there, right? Every court has ruled against you.
We've only had snap judgments on the merits. Obviously, we're fully briefing the merits in the courts of appeals, and our arguments are compelling. More fundamentally, in response to the question,
I'm suggesting to you, like the real brunt of my question is, in a case like this, the government has no incentive to bring this case to the Supreme Court because it's not really losing anything. It's losing a lot of individual cases which still allow it to enforce its EO against the vast majority of people to whom it applies.
And again, Rule 23 provides an avenue to address those very concerns.
Thank you.
Let's see what else we have. It was interesting. Justice Sotomayor got fact-checked by the Solicitor General on birthright citizenship. If you want to listen to that really quick, take a listen.
Right now, we have multiple courts. We have novel courts who've percolated this issue and said, you're violating precedent. Not only precedent, but the plain meaning of the 14th of the Constitution.
Respectfully, I think what we have are lower courts making snap judgments on the merits that ignore the fundamental principle of the 14th Amendment, that it was about giving citizenship to the children of slaves, not to the children of illegal immigrants who really were not even a very discreet class at that time. And that's the sort of argument that deserves
Congress who argued against the 13th Amendment just because of that. Some people who argued against passing the amendment just because of that, because it would give citizenship to gypsies.
I think the relevant history of the 14th Amendment is the statements of Senator Trumbull, who emphasized that domicile was the key criterion. He said that in a letter to Andrew Jackson. And we've cited in our Ninth Circuit briefing a host of decisions that back that up.
Rejected repeatedly.
You notice she won't let him talk because he's got a point. It's what we've been stating forever, what the 14th Amendment. Listen, just interrupt, filibuster. This is coming from a Supreme Court justice.
We've cited in our Ninth Circuit briefing a host of decisions that back that up.
Rejected repeatedly. We can go into the history of citizenship, but I still go back to my question.
Let me see if we have. So when these type of amendments were passed, again, this is for the babies of slave owners, to give them equal rights, to give them a citizenship in the United States. We explained that when we did the Trump truth post that came out. I want you to listen to this, though, and how urgent this is and how you are losing your country right now. In 2023, that's 2 years ago, there were between 225,000 and 250,000 babies born to illegal immigrants. That's more than the babies born in all 2 U.S. states taken individually. It's also more than the total of number of babies born to legal non-citizens. This is per the Center for Immigration Studies. Right now, there are reports of expectant mothers who are either illegal or in the U.S. under temporary parole, lining up for preterm C-sections to beat President Trump's February 20th cutoff date. Some as early as 7 months gestation. France, New Zealand, and Australia have all abandoned birthright citizenship in the past few decades. Ireland was the last country in the European Union to follow the practice, ending it in 2005. Framers of the 14th Amendment, including Senator Lyman Trumbull, considered the driving force behind the amendment, specifically stated at the time that citizenship clause does not encompass individuals still owing allegiance to any other country. It was always America first back then. The language in the 14th Amendment was derived from the 1866 Civil Rights Act, which provided that all persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power would be considered citizens. Two Supreme Court cases held up the 14th Amendment exclude citizens of foreign countries born in the U.S. The Slaughterhouse case in 1872 and Elk versus Wilkham in 1884. The 14th Amendment did not originally grant citizenship to American Indians. Why not? Because they were considered to hold allegiance to tribal nations and were only partially subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. government. American Indians and their children did not become citizens until 1924 with the passage of the Indian Citizenship Act, despite being born on American soil. Why would they need this law if simply born within the U.S. automatically granted someone citizenship? There's so much stuff behind this that I think you guys get it too. I think you guys get it too. It's absolutely horrible. Let me pull this up really quick. I'm trying to think who it was. I think it was Jason Miller. Shared an article from Politico. Let's see. He put down where'd it go? Good news for stopping the rogue judicial threats to democracy. Justice sounded inclined to rein in a legal remedy judges have used to halt many of Trump's early policy moves. And again, we'll go over the Political article really quick. It says several justices suggested that when a broad judiciary remedy is needed, the proper course is for the case to be handled as a class action lawsuit. President Donald Trump's executive order purporting to end birthright citizenship found no traction Thursday at the Supreme Court, but the justice sounded inclined to rein in the legal remedy of justice have used to halt many of Trump's early policy moves, from restricting immigration to cutting federal spending to ending anti-diversity initiative. It says 3 district judges have deployed that tool, known as a nationwide injunction, to block Trump from implementing his birthright citizenship order. None of the justices spoke up in defense of the order's legality during more than the 2 hours of oral arguments, and several suggested that the order is almost surely unconstitutional. So, let me see what this was. And so let's hope. I mean, that would be a partial win. You know what we really need is, and I'll tell you what the problem is, guys, is we're not electing the right people. Congress can change anything. There can be an amendment. If we win 2026 in a major way, regardless of what these courts say, we could change things if we elect the right people. And I just think that that is an urgent matter. I'm hoping the right things would happen. But I think we know how things happen, especially with Amy Coney Barrett. Not very good. So check this out. The Newark mayor who was arrested at the ICE facility last week had his hearing today. And I thought it was great that Alina Habba arrived. She is the U.S. District Court Attorney for New Jersey. She was greeted by boos by all the radicals out there that want open borders. But take a look at this.
Make way, make way, make way, make way. Make way, guys. Make way, guys. We got it. And now we're showing up for him.
Look at all those SEIU people that are upset, the people that funnel the money to Democrats. This is why, to be honest with you, unions, if you support unions, or in my opinion, unions should only be in the private sector and not the public sector. My tax dollars should not go to pay for unions, and unions are paid for by your tax dollars. This was the Newark, New Jersey mayor, where he was given just a speech outside with his union thugs.
We did not violate any laws. The Constitution of this country, the Constitution of the state of New Jersey, and we set up for the local laws that were put together by the people of this city and by the people of this state.
And then Savannah, is it Savannah Hernandez? Let me look at this really quick if this thing would shut down. Confronted the mayor, and once again, they didn't like it. It says he's labeling himself a fighter for immigrants' rights and due process. That's how they're, we need due process. We heard that in some of the hearings yesterday. There was no due process when these people broke into the country, so there's not going to be any due process when we send them home. Listen to this. This is where he was caught heading over to his vehicle.
Mayor Baraka, why are you defending criminal illegal aliens? 75% of the people in Delaney Hall have criminal convictions or pending convictions. Why are you defending MS-13 members? And why are you defending murderers, child rapists, and drug traffickers over at the citizens of New Jersey?
They're literally trying to block this woman's camera.
Get off of me. Get off of me. Mayor, why are you defending criminals? Why are you defending
His thugs out there harassing journalists for asking good questions like, could you imagine this was anybody in the Republican Party? You would have the tough questions, right? We've seen it before, the double standard. But again, because she's not legacy media and she's asking the questions we want to know, they want to shut that down. And it's just crazy. Before we get into the next one, there's a lot of court cases today. Judge Hannah, the one that was illegally helping an illegal alien evade ICE arrest. We'll get into that right now. But don't forget, guys, we are heading to D.C. in less than 3 weeks. We will be in D.C. We got the plane ticket paid for. Now we need to get a hotel, rental car, and food while we're down there. So if you guys want to help out, we would appreciate it. We are going to be covering some protests, but mainly we're going down there for the 250th anniversary of our military, the military parade that's going to be going on down there. We want to be there. It's going to be historic. And if you guys would like to bless us and help us out with a donation, we would appreciate it. We are 100% viewer funded. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And then we also have if you do online banking and you want to do the Zelle transfer, we have our Zelle address on our website. You can go to theoreoexpress.com, click on the Donate Now button. It's on our homepage. Scroll down a little. You'll see Donate Now. Hit that button and it'll give you all those links. And we just want to say thank you so much for your help and everything you guys do. So, more protesters. This time out in front of the federal courthouse in Milwaukee in support of Judge Hannah Dugan, the one that was just indicted. And listen to this.
Hands up! Hands up! What do you mean? Hands up! I'm press! Hands up! I'm judges! Hands up!
So, again, we've covered this story extensively, and she went in, and her attorney have insisted she's innocent. They filed a motion Wednesday to dismiss the case, saying she was acting in her official capacity. Why is this thing doing this? And therefore, she is immune to prosecution. I guess her official capacity is aiding and abetting and obstructing federal ICE agents. So this will be an interesting one. Again, this is one they should throw the book at. Send a clear message to these activist judges. Remember all her ties to Catholic Charities. I thought this one was just great, guys. We talked about reparations at the beginning of the show. But listen to this. One of the people that stormed the ICE facility was Rep. Bonnie Watson Coleman. Listen to what she said. You ain't going to be surprised. It has to do with white supremacy, guys.
You know what? You're living in an un-American society with a Unitarian government.
Oh, let me refresh this.
That abuse.
Eventually, we're going to get another computer with enough memory that can not frustrate us while we're live. Come on.
In an un-American society with a Unitarian government that abuses power on all levels and treats Congress members as if we are the enemy. You know who the enemy is? The enemy is the enemy of the people, and that's the white supremacist that you're talking about.
Oh, the white supremacist. Okay, thank you.
You know what? You're living in an
Man, those damn white supremacists, they're everywhere. Every time I turn on the news, there's another white supremacist crime. That's actually the opposite of what I see, by the way. But we can see a lot of illegal alien crime and a lot of other crime. But again, that was bankrupt under the Obama administration, the race card. Sorry, but it got declined once again. Speaking of criminal activity, an illegal alien. Now, this is not too far from our home. This is Paso Robles. We go through Paso Robles when we go down to Pismo Beach. We've been to Paso Robles before. I think we did that one Trump train ended up in Paso Robles, if you remember. It says an illegal alien arrested on felony charges walks free. So let me give you what happened. Because of sanctuary policies, ICE put a detainer on this illegal alien. And because of sanctuary policies, they just let him walk. They didn't contact ICE, tell him that he was being released or anything like that. Now he is being charged with the murder of his 6-year-old child, his 6-year-old son, after leaving him in a hot car a couple days ago. So I just want to say something. If ICE would have picked him up, there would not be a 6-year-old dead today. And it's sickening. It's sickening. I was seeing this on the news last night, and I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now, hey, and another thing that I seen yesterday, and we're going to dig a little deeper in this, it says Mexico confirmed that 17 family members of cartel leaders crossed into the U.S. last week as part of a deal between a son of the former head of the Sinaloa cartel and the Trump administration. Remember, the Sinaloa cartels, many of those cartels are really worried now that they are labeled a terrorist organization. They're worried about their relatives that live in the United States. They're worried about everything. Let me pull up this article because there's not a whole lot of details out yet. It says Mexico's security chief confirmed Tuesday that 17 family members of cartel leaders crossed into the U.S. last week as part of a deal between a son of the former head of the Sinaloa cartel and the Trump administration. Mexican Security Secretary Omar Garcia Harfuch confirmed a report by independent journalist Luis Chaparro that the family members of Ovidio Guzman Lopez, who was extradited to the United States in 2023, had entered the U.S. Guzman Lopez is one of the brothers left running a faction of the Sinaloa cartel after notorious Capo Joaquin El Chapo, remember El Chapo, Guzman was imprisoned in the U.S. Video showed the family members walking across the border from Tijuana with their suitcase to waiting U.S. agents. Rumors had circulated last week that the younger Guzman would plead guilty to avoid trial for several drug trafficking charges in the U.S. after being extradited in 2023. Mexican security forces captured Guzman Lopez, alias the Mouse, in 2022 in the capital of the Sinaloa state. He believed that was the case because the former cartel's boss, whose lawyers said in January that he had entered negotiation with U.S. authorities, had been pointing fingers at members of other criminal organizations, likely as part of the cooperation agreement. It is evident that his family is going to the U.S. because of negotiations or an offer to the Department of Justice is giving him. He said that none of the family members were being pursued by Mexican authorities and that the government of President Trump has to share information with Mexican prosecutors, something it has not yet done. The confirmation by Garcia comes the same day the U.S. Attorney General's office announced it was charging a number of top cartel leaders with narco-terrorism for the first time since the Trump administration declared the number of cartels as foreign terrorists. It says, while prosecutors declined to comment on the video of the family, U.S. Attorney Adam Gordon for the South District of California and other officials sent a warning to cartel members, repeatedly citing the Sinaloa cartel by name. Let me be direct to the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel. You are no longer the hunters. You are the hunted. You will be betrayed by your friends. You will be hounded by your enemies. And you will ultimately find yourself and your face here in a courtroom in the Southern District of California. Also on Tuesday, U.S. officials unveiled an indictment against two alleged Sinaloa cartel leaders on narco-terrorism charges, including a father and son who prosecutors say ran one of the largest, most sophisticated fentanyl production network. And I'm not going to get into the rest of it. So it seems like, again, that Trump is using some negotiation tactics to take down the cartels, the Trump team. And who doesn't want the cartels taken down? Democrats. They partnered with the cartels. Mayorkas was partnering with the cartels on the human trafficking for all 4 years of the Biden administration. And Chuck Schumer had to tweet this. It says, Donald Trump has no problem deporting U.S. citizens, but if you're related to El Chapo, then Donald Trump says, come right in. Republicans love to talk tough about border security, but where are they now? It's a total disgrace. So again, Chuck Schumer trying to twist something because, again, we know who is in bed with the cartels. We actually filmed it on the border, and by all means, we know what's going on. Let me see what else popped up while we were live really quick. Give me 1 minute. Wow. So, former FBI Director James Comey, appointed by Obama, shared an Instagram photo of seashells arranged to read 8647. That's pretty brazen. I got to say that. Remember, this is the same FBI that turned their backs on our Constitution and went after persecuting him. Comey says, cool shell formation on my beach walk. I'm telling you, these people better be very careful. I think, oh, I can't believe that. Let's see. That tweet's going pretty viral right now. What did James Comey mean by this? Here's that story we just covered, by the way, about the child 6 years old that died. It said 6-year-old boy died after father left him in hot car, police say. Nothing about the actual story. It was actually Bill Malugan said, the Paso Robles father is an illegal alien with a history of child neglect allegation who was arrested for a handful of misdemeanors on April 29th, but was released with ISIS detainer ignored, not honored due to sanctuary policy. He is now charged with murder of his son's death. I'm glad he's out there correcting the statements. See if there's anything else. Yeah, the Comey thing is getting really big for him to put 8647, if you guys know what that means. Let's see, what's this? Just making sure we didn't miss anything that's breaking. How long ago was this? Yeah, there's a disagreement on the House budget bill for Republicans. They'll get through it. So that seems like it. Hey, tonight, I am pretty sure we will do a premium live. We talked about it yesterday, but I was still working on the website and doing so much stuff. By the time I would get a show done, it wouldn't have been till really late. But because we're getting this show done, and this is our second show at 2:30 in the afternoon, I'll have time. So all our premium members, I want to say thank you for being a premium member on Rumble. We would not be here. We would not be on the air if it was not for Rumble. So thank you to all the premium subscribers. We should be doing something tonight. Again, have your notifications on, and we will see you guys later. Let's not forget, we are trying to raise the money for the hotel and the rental car for DC. We are going down there in 3 weeks. Want to say thank you to everybody who's donated, helped us get the plane ticket, but now we got to get the rest covered. If you guys want to help out, you can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And as always, we have a Zelle link provided on our website, which is theoreoexpress.com. So we will see all you guys here in a little while. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the mods for your support, and I appreciate you all.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
The Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing in the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.